Today's video is all about the top foundations for dry skin this year. These are all foundations that I tried in 2022 that really truly blew my mind and absolutely blew my skin away, but not because it's still here and it looks great. First foundation is actually a skin tint, so I am starting from the lightest coverage to the fullest coverage foundations in this lineup. This is the Rare Beauty Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer. It has an SPF of 20 in it, and I bought this in the summer, so my summer shade was 22W. This is a little bit too dark for me right now. There's no self-tanner. But let's talk about why I love this so much. It gives you a decent amount of coverage. It is light, but can be built up to medium coverage without getting cakey. It lasts all day. I have an entire review on it. If I have reviews on the foundations that I'm mentioning today, I will link video link, review link below the product links down below. Right down there, you just have to click. You'll see everything I'm going to talk about and the reviews if you want in-depth reviews on these. I'm just going to kind of scan over everything and tell you why I love it. But for up close shots, wear tests, and all of the info on these guys, click those links below to watch those reviews. I love that the skin tint is very hydrating. It gives you a glowy type of finish, but it lasts. It's not one of those skin tints or tinted moisturizers that you apply and you go, ooh, I look naturally beautiful today. And then, 5 hours later, it's basically gone, or it shrinks into your pores or sinks into your pores. It gets in your fine lines. There's something about this that looks like you've just put a layer of skin over your skin. Now, this doesn't cover blemishes or dark spots, but it does just enhance the overall tone of your skin, and it kind of reduces a little bit of texture. And there's some blurring properties in there. I'm not sure how they did that, but it's really true, and it does blur any type of fine lines or pore issues. I have a lot of enlarged pores around my nose and my chin. So when I try a skin tint, I'm not expecting it to perform like a crazy high-end foundation that blurs and smooths, but this skin tint does. I also love that the Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer has an SPF of 20 in it, so it's a very easy product to wear in the warmer months. The next foundation I want to mention has a tad bit more coverage than the Rare Beauty Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer. This is the Merit, the Minimalist Foundation and Concealer Stick. The whole reason why I'm saying this is new to me this year is because they made their foundation, the Minimalist, 1.7 times larger than the previous amount. So this kind of got me excited to try it again, and I realized how much I loved it because it's just like the perfect amount of coverage for light makeup days or a full glam look where you want lighter coverage so you don't look completely like cake face made up. But this is wonderful for dry skin because you can apply it and blend it out with a brush or a beauty blender, and it looks beautiful on the skin. It looks like a natural layer of skin over your skin, and it can be used as concealer. So this year I really enjoyed wearing the shade Sand as my all over foundation, and then I would apply Linen underneath my eyes to brighten everything up. The same shade that you use all over your face can be built up to cover blemishes or dark spots or anything like that. But when you apply it as just a layer of foundation, it is light coverage, but again, can be built up on trouble spots. This is the shade Sand. Probably a little too dark for me right now, but in the summer, it's perfect. And then this is Linen, which is actually probably my shade right now, but I use this underneath my eyes to conceal my dark circles for when they're not too bad. It moves with the skin. It's very nice and hydrating looking underneath the eyes. The Minimalist has a natural to glowy finish. Also, if you apply like a very hydrating type of moisturizer underneath Merit's the Minimalist foundation, you will get a glowier effect. But if you just apply it over your regular, moisturizer or even just on your skin, it's gonna look a little more natural finish. But I like to use a lot of glowy type of skincare, so I get a pretty glowy finish with Merit's the Minimalist foundation and concealer stick. And I love that you can use the Minimalist to touch up throughout the day, and it doesn't get cakey, so you can apply it even over powdered down areas. And for some reason, it just works, and you can kind of tap it in with your finger if you're on the go, or use a damp sponge if you're at home. But here is sand, which is the new size, and here is linen, which is the old size. So you get 1.7 times more product in here, which is wonderful for the price. I love this foundation. I feel like it's very underrated. It's probably just one of those amazing products that I feel like will fly under the radar unnecessarily. So if you have dry skin and you are wanting a light amount of coverage that just is very flexible on the face, I think you'll really enjoy Merit's the Minimalist Foundation and Concealer Stick. The Patrick Ta Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder. I have a full review. You know, I also had a chemical burn when I reviewed this, so you can see how this looks on extremely damaged skin. And I will say this, it is light coverage, but it can be built up. This is meant for keeping around all day and touching up. But if you apply it in the morning, like you do your normal, you know, coverage routine, you won't necessarily need to touch up, but it's like this because it is for like on the go, lightweight makeup that looks like skin. This is not for a full coverage, full glam situation. The coverage on this is light, but again, can be built up to medium. And I can't stress this enough. The Patrick Ta Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo looks like real skin. There's a foundation brush that you can purchase to use this with, or you can use your other, you know, regular buffing foundation brush. It works well with all of those types of brushes. You don't have to have the Patrick Ta foundation brush, but I do recommend it. It is very nice, and it comes with a duo-ended portion to apply the powder. This powder in this duo is meant for setting the under eyes. That is why it is lighter than the foundation. This is the shade Light 1. And this blurs, and it makes the under eyes look so blurred, like silk, but like skin, and it sets all different types of coverage concealers. I feel like this foundation didn't get a fair shake because people were looking for Patrick to come out with just like a full coverage, glowy, wow, wow, wow foundation. This is a wow, wow, wow foundation, except it needs to be used a certain way, which is for minimal coverage and just perfecting the skin, almost like a corrector. If you could think about using a foundation as a color corrector and just to even the skin tone, but still look like skin, that is what the Patrick Ta Cream Foundation and Powder Duo is. This foundation is a medium-ish coverage foundation. I would say it's medium coverage leaning on lighter coverage. Text, for the love of God. This is a medium to light coverage foundation. It starts out medium coverage, but you can kind of diffuse it down to a light coverage. Building it up is a little tricky because it is so glowy. Don't get me wrong, that's what I love about this glowish skin tint. When I'm wearing it, I get so many questions about what foundation I'm wearing, and it's usually the Huda Beauty glowish skin tint because it looks so good in photos and under lights and on camera. It also looks amazing, natural lighting and in daylight and all that good stuff, but it looks exceptional when it comes to photography and on camera. It's formulated with squalene, so it gives you an instant boost of hydration. Like, it feels just as hydrating as it looks. Finish on this is definitely glowy, radiant wow. It doesn't make you look greasy or make your face look like it's the only hydrated area on your body. I don't know how that's possible, but it just looks like you've had a good amount of rest and hydration. It also contains Damascus rose oil, which locks in moisture and also clarifies the skin. So I was really scared about trying the Huda Beauty Glowish Skin Tint because of my texture and my pores, but it doesn't enhance my texture, it doesn't enhance my pores, it just makes me look super moisturized, glowing, and gives me incredible coverage. It says light coverage on the website, but I definitely think this leans more towards medium. So if you have dry skin and you are wanting an absolutely like heavenly glowy finish and you're wanting a decent amount of coverage, definitely give the Huda Beauty Glowish Skin Tint a try. The Koh Gen Do Aqua Foundation. If you guys saw my review, you knew I was blown away. A lot of you had been telling me to try this foundation for a really long time. I only tried it recently, earlier this year, and I was absolutely blown away by how much it looks like skin. This is the shade 002. I have the full review, so if you would like to see that, you know, all that good stuff. But I mentioned this in the review. 002 is too pink for me. I never ended up purchasing or looking for the shade that matches me perfectly, just because this is a $90 foundation. So I kind of just use bronzers and different undertone blushes to kind of cancel out the pink a little bit. But 002, if you are yellow undertone like me, you'll end up thinking this looks a little pink on you. It's not too obvious, but because I asked you guys in the review, does it look pink? You noticed it. You know what I mean? It's like one of those. It's not like, oh, that's way too pink. It's like, hey, is this too pink? And it's like, yes. Koh Gen Do had the Aqua foundation previously and then reformulated it to be more sweat and heat resistant. This new reformulation or brand new foundation, who knows, geared more towards performance as well as beautiful looking skin and beautiful coverage. I would say this is definitely light to medium coverage. This the Koh Gen Do Aqua Foundation can be built up to be a higher coverage foundation, but it looks gorgeous just a medium coverage. Coverage looks like skin. I think it's because of the light reflecting minerals they included, as well as the gloss film powder they included, which is their own technology and their own formulation. Whatever magic they've done, the Koh Gen Do Aqua Foundation is insanely beautiful on dry, irritable, breakout prone skin. None of these foundations or skin tints, by the way, have broken me out or irritated my skin. That's a big deal for me. My skin reacts terribly to things that make it react terribly. The next foundation is the Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. It has an SPF of 30. It definitely, I can still kind of smell it after wiping it off my hand from the swatch. It definitely has a rosy sort of scent to it, but it doesn't have fragrance. And I was very just taken aback by how much I ended up loving the Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation, because I did not like the Kosas Concealer and I don't like the Kosas Cloud Powder. What is that called? Tried their other coverage products and they just didn't work for my dry skin. I felt like they enhanced my pores and texture and all that kind of stuff. The Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation, however, looks amazing on my dry skin, and it just kind of melts over any texture or any imperfections, and it is a true medium coverage foundation, and you can build this up to be pretty full coverage. I wore this on a lot of work trips this summer, and it definitely performs very well in heat and in, you know, sweaty conditions. This looks incredible throughout the entire day. It contains niacinamide for brightening, caffeine for firming, as well as squalene for moisture, arnica for improving any dark spots and puffiness. It has peptides, hyaluronic acid, vitamin B5. They really put a powerful amount of skin improving ingredients in this foundation, and I feel like you can really tell. The Hourglass Ambient Foundation. I feel like this foundation blew me out of the water after I bought it, wore it. I was like, wow, this is one of the most incredible foundations I've ever tried. And then there were like so many good foundation releases, I feel like it got buried. So I wanted to make sure to mention this again, because if you are a dry skin person, right? Like, and you're not into a fully glowy, dewy look, it's hard to find a nice satin to matte finish that's truly satin to matte. You will love this. It is a satin to matte finish, pretty medium to full coverage, and it doesn't make you look dry. It lasts all day. It claims a 16-hour wear. It looks incredible at the end of the day. Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation just has an all-over airbrushed effect. Like, you apply it and you go, oh wait, it looks like I used like a filter or something in real life. So it had to be in this list of the foundations that I absolutely loved that I tried in 2022, because I can't think of a similar formula that I have in my collection that would be like, oh, that reminds me of Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. No, it's in its own category. It's lightweight. It feels like silk on the skin. And honestly, if you could imagine your face skin looking like airbrushed soft silk, that's what the Hourglass Ambient Foundation looks like on the skin. Makeup Forever HD Skin. Makeup Forever has reformulated this foundation. I believe this was the third time, maybe it was the fourth, I'm not sure. They nailed it when they came out with the new formulation for the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. I have a whole review on this. Again, I will link it right down there if you want to see the in-depth review. But overall, I love this foundation. It gives you medium to full coverage. You can get pretty full coverage with this without it looking like you built it up too much, without it, you know, sinking around fine lines, especially around the mouth. You know, when you build up a foundation, sometimes it can not get into the lines, but it starts like separating around lines in the face, especially around the mouth, and it kind of just creates like little cracks. This does not do that when you build it up. It makes the skin look so healthy. It covers enough to where you don't even necessarily need an under eye concealer if you don't have too bad of dark circles, but I need under eye concealer. I'm just saying though, if you're a person who likes to just look perfected, like quickly, the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation is for you, and you can just throw on a cream blush and some mascara and go, but still be fully covered, and it's going to last you all day long. Just like the rest of these foundations, it doesn't cling to any dryness, it doesn't enhance texture, it doesn't sink into pores, it doesn't cause white freckling. There's just something about it. Once you apply the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation, it almost looks like it instantly restores your youth. Like you look 5 years younger and you're like, whoa, my skin looks incredible. And it could be your worst skin day. They did an amazing job on the reformulation. You've got to try the new one. The new and reformulated YSL All Hours Foundation absolutely blew my freaking mind. And here's why, because when it first launched a few years ago, I was like, oh, this is really great. Formed well in heat and it lasted all day, and I was really impressed by the wear time. However, it did cling to my dry patches, and it did kind of end up making me look a little dry at the end of the day. The new formulation of the YSL All Hours, it's what I'm wearing today. I haven't put this down since I purchased it, and I did a full review on it recently. So if you would like to see that, again, it'll be linked down below. Claims like a healthy matte finish. It's what you see that I have on today. I feel like it does. It gives you a true healthy yet matte finish. I do have highlight on and everything, but it doesn't look like it's so mattified that when you apply a highlighter, it's like, I can see exactly where you applied your highlighter. This is that type of matte finish that's like, it looks seamless no matter what finish of products you have on your face. And at the end of the night, it looks like you just applied it. There is some witchery going on here with this foundation. This is also another formula that I can't go, oh, this reminds me of this foundation. The YSL All Hours foundation is its own beast, and it is a beautiful one. This is breathable, lightweight on the skin, long lasting, and again, it just has the most beautiful matte, healthy finish. So if you are a dry-skinned person like I am and you want an elevated matte finish, you can have it too with the All Hours foundation, I'm telling you. I'm in the shade LW7, it's what I'm wearing today. Everything else I have on or have talked about will be down in the info below, as well as all of the reviews, just in case you have any questions. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm so passionate about finding products that work well with dry skin, because if you have dry skin, it's really hard to go from dry to like a healthy makeup look. There's a lot of steps involved if you don't have the right foundations, so I'm super passionate about sharing all of my tips and tricks with you guys when it comes to dry skin. So subscribe to not miss any of this stuff, because it's good stuff. It's good information. Let us know in the comments what foundations blew you away. Do you hate some of these? Do you love some of these? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. All right.